Do you need a special pad? That is a very good question. It's not always a special pad. It's so many pads are not the right pads. For instance, if we can recommend anything for treeless saddles, we're going to recommend what we find to be the most appropriate, comfortable, and adapts the best to this type of activity. The one thing you do want to avoid is a memory foam. And quite often some of the manufacturers will use other technical words for their foam other than memory foam. But right now, a memory foam like this is extremely hard around about 50 degrees. And as it collapses, it takes a long time for that foam to recover. And the problem with that is that when it warms up, see how long it takes to recover its shape. Now once that foam gets warmed up to the temperature of the horse, it gets so soft that it collapses and it takes too long to recover. Therefore, it is not a good product to use in equestrian activities. What we use is a different type of foam, which again we'll use the name recovery foam. This foam, on the other hand, will recover instantaneously, and no matter how much impact and torture, it always reshapes itself. And we don't need as much foam because it is so effective. We have a couple of versions of these pads that we use, and if it is to recommend a pad, we would rather recommend the best pad. This pad is called the Suspension Plus. It has that identical foam inside these pockets, and the foam can be removed if you're going to wash the pad. This type of pad is made of felt, a non-slip material, and a back fleece. On the top we use a non-slip material. This benefits the saddle not slipping on the pad, and on the underside the pad not slipping on the horse. So this is a suspension pad, and then you have the Suspension Plus. The Suspension Plus. This is a suspension pad which has all the fleece, so no non-slip material, which is good for most people. The reason that we talk about the difference between pads is that the problem people have is if they have a horse with a sore back, they have pads and thicker pads and thicker pads and so forth. Because the pads came about because there was soreness created to the horse's back. The problem is more padding you put, more you're going to create that saddle is going to rock forward and backwards. So actually the best situation is having the pad as thin as possible. And that's why the Suspension and Suspension Plus pad are very thin, but they're actually very effective.